Hello everyone and welcome to my playthrough of Master of Olympus Zeus. Master of Olympus Zeus is a game I used to play as a teen and I quite liked it. Still love it. I've replayed it many times. I have 126 or 27 hours of it in Steam because I just keep replaying it, and I figured this time, since I want to replay it again, I'm going to record it and share it with people. Don't know how many people are going to be interested in watching it, but we'll see how it goes. So I suppose we'll just jump in and get started, and we'll see how we go. So we're going to do Zeus and Europa here. Let's start.
Follow a cow? The priestess from the oracle said to follow a cow? A peculiar command, to be sure, but then the priestess is never wrong. She promised that great things would come to the person who follows her cow until it lays down to sleep, and then builds a city on the spot. This person will be able to achieve something that 4 powerful men failed to achieve, and finally bring Europa back to peace. The beautiful Europa was abducted years ago by a white bull, and has not been seen since. And thus the priestess's bovine-centric prophecy came to an end. The cow did not choose a very good spot. She fell asleep a short distance from a hideous multi-headed serpent that purportedly belongs to Ares. The monster is always ravenously hungry and eats everything that comes near him. Building a city here won't be easy, but the promised reward is irresistible.
Okay, right, so we'll jump into it. We're going to play on Titan, which is one below the highest difficulty. So we'll jump in and we'll get started. So this is our playing area, our map. We have 3 areas that we can build on this particular one. So we have the main big one here. We have a second little island bit of land here, and a third one here. This one has marble on it, but this is also where the Hydra will spawn in a couple of minutes once I unpause. We have the likes of meadows here, and over here. So this is where we can plant our crops. Here, like our wheat farm, we can plant our olive tree and vineyards and stuff whenever we unlock them. And we can also put our sheep and goats down here as well. Sheep for fleece, goats for food, for cheese. You have to be careful of these wolves because these will eat our goats and sheep. We can take care of them with a wall and tower very easily, or just keep our sheep away from it basically. We have all of our building structures here on the right, so we have houses and eventually mansions when we get them. Our foodstuffs and here. Our industry, so we have our masonry shop for marble, which we won't be able to use yet, and olive press to make olive oil and other stuff eventually. And distribution tabs, so granaries and trade depots and agoras, so we can build food markets and fleece markets and stuff. Hygiene and safety, so we have our likes of our water, our maintenance tower to stop our buildings from collapsing, watch posts to handle unrest, and an infirmary to handle the sickness. Admin stuff, so just collecting taxes. Culture, which is used to upgrade our buildings, our houses. Military, which we have nothing of, mythology, which we have nothing of, which is building temples to the gods. Military, as we have our towers and stuff, and eventually we can get armories to build armor, and we can get ships, fighting ships and stuff like that. Our aesthetic stuff, and then just a tab for giving us an idea of everything else. And we have our requests in here if the gods request us to do something, or a city requests food or fleece or something from us, they'll show up in here. This is the world tab where we can see those cities. So we have a couple of allies here: Mount Pelion, Calydon, Argos, and then we have we have Libya as well, and we have 2 rivals. Rivals we can't trade with, and they may even attack us. They may even demand stuff from us. And allies we can trade with, buy stuff from them, sell stuff to them, make requests if we want stuff, if we need stuff from them. They may also make demands to us, so on and so forth. So I suppose I'll get started. I have a kind of setup that I always build. That I find works well enough that I've never bothered to kind of change it. This won't be a particularly efficient build in this game, but I play games the way I like to play games, so that's that. So we'll get a little bit of a setup going on here. A couple of things I like to do immediately is put down a granary and a storehouse just in case a ally early on gifts us something. Maintenance post for keeping our buildings up. Hygiene so we don't get hit with an early plague, and water so people have something to drink. And I actually like to build 2 of these right at the start of the game. And I kind of mirror them off of each other then, so 1, 2, and then a road, and a road. I find it's a nice compact way of doing it. I'm sure there is more efficient ways of building, and I can't remember if it's 8 or 9 for the food vendor to make it all the way around. There is probably better ways to build, but as I said, one, this is the way I like to do it, and 2, it looks quite pretty, and kind of like a big city block essentially when it's up and running. So we'll just get in another infirmary here. We'll get in a maintenance post in beside it, and we'll get some water in as well. Let's be careful. We have up here our money and population, so I have to just be careful of those. And what I'll do as well, I'll stick down a palace here and the maintenance post on that. Without a palace we can't actually put down tax offices to start getting just even a little bit of money in. We'll chuck down 2 of these roadblocks. This just means that the people in this area, so this water guy for example, he'll only go out onto this road, and in this loop he won't bother going up this road and feeding this area or onto other stuff where we might want to limit people in general. Next thing then, we'll just get down 2 farms. I think that might be enough. We'll find out in a moment. Get a road going in between them, and another maintenance post here. And that'll be us pretty much ready to start. So I think it's down here. Employees needed, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, there we go. People will start moving into the city. They'll start taking these houses. You can see we need 136 workers, but we have housing for 288. So we have, we'll have enough people to get this little village essentially up and running. Oh, and here comes the Hydra.
Our stealing bites are our gifts to you.
Oh, I thank you. He's given us a gift. He must not be that bad. So, yeah, we obviously can't get the marble, which would be nice because marble is a nice way to make money. But we'll eventually be able to kill the Hydra. So yeah, we'll just wait for people to start coming in. They kind of come in waves. We can see here how many people are coming into the village per month, how many more, how much more housing we have available, and we can then check the likes of, who was that? Oh, okay, someone's after gone hostile. It was the guy who's already arrival to us. We can then check the likes of here, so we can make sure everyone has water. They will now that these have employees. Tax offices, naturally. Tax offices are the first thing that manages to get out. There we go. We have a little bit of water going out. People are well. There's no hazards. So if these go all the way up, these pillars go all the way up, the building will collapse, which we obviously don't want. And then unrest. We got to make sure we keep unrest under control, or we start getting criminals out. I'm actually going to put in another roadblock there, so he'll just keep going back and forth here. And yeah, so this is what I was saying. Rivals will launch attacks on you. We won't have time to build up any form of defense to fight them off, so we'll just have to bribe them, and we'll have to bear that in mind in terms of our money. These 4 farms can produce enough for 700 odd people, so we'll be fine with these 4. And you can see here, although we had enough housing for everyone, yes, although we had enough housing for everyone, not everyone is working. It's based off of the wages. The higher the wages you pay, the less unemployed that you would have. So we can see here we're having our first harvest. These lovely men have delivered some wheat. Oh, excuse me. These lovely men have delivered some wheat to our granary. So to distribute that food, we'll then put a food market down here, and a lovely lady from this market, once there's staff in it, will run out and pick up that food. There we go. So obviously we don't want to surrender. We don't have anyone to fight. If we fight and we've no troops here, even if we have troops and they lose the battle, they'll just ransack the place and destroy everything. So our only option is to bribe them to go away. The good side of that, though, is we do get a victory monument, which I will put down at some point, for winning the fight. So we can see here, this gentleman here is after popping out of the market. The lady had picked up the food from the granary, walked back to it with the agora with it, and this man
Just
now
once,
is
I'd like the
distributing
agora to
food.
bring goods to me.
So we now have some of our people fed. Once we have a bit more food coming in, I'll do the same on this side then, but it's you don't want to be starving everybody, and our unrest is still perfectly fine. The next thing we're going to want to start considering is food will come in anyway on its own, but we're going to want to consider some form of income. Taxes are fine, but it's not a lot. We can see it here. We're only getting about 188 a year from taxes. So let's just take a quick look and see what people are buying. So Mount Pelion is buying wheat, so we can consider selling some of our wheat. Calydon will buy onions and marble. We have no way to produce onions, and at the moment we can't get to the marble either, so he's not much use to us. Argos will buy wine and sculpture. Again, we've no way to make sculpture at the moment, and we have no way to make wine at the moment either, so not much use to us. And Livia will buy bronze and fleece. We've no way to mine bronze, but we do have a way of getting fleece. So we can sell fleece and we can sell wheat. So we're going to want to start getting some exports on both of them fairly soon. The city doesn't have enough food, and we're going to want to export some wheat anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down another couple of wheat farms. Like so, because we're going to need more food anyway for our rising population, but we're also going to want to start selling some of this food, so we have some form of money in. There we go. So let's see, yeah, so 16 population, need more 16 more people, and all of our houses are currently full. Once these people get houses, they will upgrade from huts to shacks. Yeah, huts to shacks, and then you can see here this shack can have 16 people in it, whereas the hut can only have 8. So this will double the amount of people that we can have in these houses, and that goes all the way up to it's either 60 or 64 in the biggest houses. I can't remember which. Gifts of olive oil from Argos. Oh, why, thank you very much. So we're after getting 5 jugs of olive oil, and this is why I like putting down, although we're not using the storehouse immediately, I like to put it down anyway, because your allies might just gift you stuff, and I'd rather have it sitting there in storage than not have it at all. So yeah, I suppose the next thing that we'll get ready to set up is a trade outpost to Mount Pelion. I can put that in here. I want to do it while I still have the money. And this is the guy that we're going to sell wheat to. So we can set it up. Now you can see he only buys 24 bushels. It's a bushel of wheat, I think. He only buys 24 bushels of wheat per year. So we'll actually just limit this anyway to 12 for now, because I don't want all my food sitting in here, because the Agoras won't take food from the trade depot. So we'll just have 12 sitting in there for the moment, and the delivery guys from the farms, once they harvest, will put into either the granary or the storehouse. I can't remember how the logic works. I think it's just based off of what's closest to them and empty. I don't think one has priority over the other. But it shouldn't be a problem. We have more than enough food for the small population we have, so we will be able to export without too much of an issue. Unfortunately, we have run out of food at the moment. These houses should all have food, but these ones won't, and that may be generating some unrest. It is. These people are actually unhappy in general. They may just be unhappy because they haven't got many amenities yet, but we will worry about that soon.